it's Helene. Welcome to Virtual Vegfest Live. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited for tonight because Kelly Kerr from the oh my gosh, the VeganAbler, sorry, which is an amazing name, is so cool. It's always fun to do this with people that you've never met, you don't know, and you've learned in that 20 minutes that I talked to before we go live just how freaking awesome they are. So you get to experience that for like the next hour plus a cooking demo, which is a Valentine's Day themed one, which of course you can do any single time. So let's get back to business. So go to virtualvegfest.com and you can enter our Wish Pond contest from there by just going to the contest tab. And you can do cool things like subscribe to Virtual Vegfest. You get 25 entries to win one of 6 prize packs from Hodo Foods. I gotta remember them all. Hodo Foods, Cinnaholics, Terra Seed, and Follow Your Heart. Because we've lost some of them. So I'm like, Follow Your Heart, Cinnaholic. I might have said them. And oh my gosh, there's 6 of them. I should know them by heart. I don't, and I don't know why that is, but you can win 6 prize packs. And this month, let's say thank you to Rebel Cheese for being a sponsor of Virtual Veg Fest Live. And guess what? They may be coming on as a prize pack, so that'd be really cool. Anything else? Oh, I don't know. Subscribe, follow us, shop. We have 9 festivals this year. Go to vegfestexpos.com to check them out. If you have any questions or comments, as you know, because cooking demos, there's always questions or comments. Put them in a little box and we'll definitely address them. Here we go. Let's start us off. Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Good. How are you, Helene?
I
Thanks so
am
much for having
great.
me.
I'm so glad that you're here, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get to know you even better. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's a great segue. Everyone's going to learn about you now. So tell us all about
Awesome.
you.
Sure. So my name is Kelly. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and I've been vegan for over 7 years. I went vegan because I saw a poster on the subway, the "Why Love One But Eat the Other" campaign, um, and that was it. I was a mother, and I read about mother pigs singing to their babies, and that was it. The hypocrisy set in immediately, and I knew that I was not living in line with my values, and that was the beginning of my vegan journey, which took maybe about a little under a year to get completely vegan. But yeah, I got my husband to go vegan and my children to go vegan. So we've been vegan, yeah, them over 6 years and me over 7 years. And it's the best thing that we've ever done. And before I was vegan, like I didn't care. I hated cooking. My whole family will tell you, like they always joke about it because they're shocked that I'm even involved in food because they were like, "You never liked to cook," and it's true. I hated cooking it, and like when I made the decision to go vegan, I was just like, I don't even know what I'm going to eat, but I know that I don't want to eat animals and any of their body parts or secretions anymore, and so then I had to learn, and then an opportunity presented itself where I could go and take culinary arts, vegetarian culinary arts at our local college. And so I got my certificate in vegetarian culinary arts, and that really is what set it off. And the VeganAbler came about because I just thought, there's obviously so many others like me that was in my position and, wanting to, either reduce their meat intake or, vegetarian, vegan, whatever there they are, in their journey. And they need to support, because I think it's like support is so important. I knew a vegan from a long time ago, and they were a raw vegan, so although they were an ethical vegan, they didn't really present that. If they had said that to me, I probably wouldn't be vegan a really long time ago, but to them it was just like a health thing, right? And so I thought of veganism as just a health thing. So finding that community was just so important, and I wanted to like be a person that people can feel supported by while they're on their journey, because some people mess up, and that's okay, and some people don't even know where to start, and so that's where the VeganAbler came in, to be like, how can I support people on their plant-based journey. either through shopping, so taking them shopping, learning about ingredients, non-vegan ingredients in their products, which you probably would never know about, like L-lysine and like everything, whey, all the different names of whey, um, so then it started from there, and then I started getting involved with the Save movement because it's uh, the co-founder is based in Toronto. It's where it started, and cooking for activists. While we were doing all day vigils, and that just kind of picked up, and other um, animal welfare organizations, asked me to do catering, and so it kind of evolved into, activists and catering, and a very small business. But the core of it, and my heart is in activism, because we need as many people to go vegan as possible if we're going to have a livable planet in the next 10 years.
That's fantastic. You answered one of the questions is how you came up with VeganAbler, because I think it's a fantastic name. It's a
My
great play
husband
on
did. Yeah,
words.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
kudos to him.
Yeah.
That's really neat. And of course, I want to, as we go through this, to feel free to bring in the planet and climate healers as you're talking, because you've got
Sure.
3 courses, and I want you to start cooking because you've got three
Okay.
courses to get
Yes.
through. And this will be a great segue. I didn't know that you're not the first person to be on that does cooking like this and demos and more, that
Yeah.
never like to cook. So
Yeah.
something changes when you turn over to that veganism and you move into
Absolutely.
this. And
Yeah.
another thing that people don't realize isn't vegan is something like confectioner's glaze, which
Yeah.
sounds benign. Sounds like, oh, I could
Yeah.
totally eat this. Yeah, bugs. So it's shellac.
That was the last one that I learned about. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I made many,
And
many mistakes with that one.
yeah,
Thinking,
that's
because
it's
I knew about shellac, and I was like, oh, confectioner's glaze. Oh yeah, that's the alternative. No, it's the same thing.
no, it's like it's on your dark chocolate. It's on your chocolate covered almonds. It's like
Yes.
it's on a lot of chocolate. So gonna make it shiny. They use bugs instead of like something that they don't have to, because there's
Yeah.
shiny chocolate without bugs. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you go. I'm gonna put myself
Awesome.
into the corner and let's do. I can't wait to see what you make.
Okay, great. Okay, so today we're going to do a 3-course Valentine's Day meal. We are going to do a beet tartare with a vegan ricotta and candied walnuts. The main dish, we're going to do pasta with a rosé sauce, and our dessert, we're going to do a very simple chocolate truffle. So we're going to get started on the beet tartare. And I have my beets already prepared. But what you will do, for those that are watching, is you're going to want to roast 3 medium large size beets. Uh, and you could go on Google, YouTube, and find any recipe on how to roast beets. They're pretty simple. I put it on 400 today for about an hour and 15 minutes, and just let them cool. And I peeled them, and now I have them prepped. But you could do the easy way and buy, if you see these cooked ones in the grocery store, you can use these. I try to avoid, plastic in that, but if you're somewhere where, that's all you have available to you, or, just for whatever reason, if you want to buy those, you can use those as well. So I bought those just for the demo, but I am not going to use them. I actually roasted my beets. So I'm going to show you how to prepare the beets after. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to get my blender out. We are going to, you know what? No, I'm going to do the candied walnuts. So I'm going to get my pan. So you want a half a cup of chopped, you could do walnuts or you could do pecans. I chose walnuts. And we're going to toast these over a medium heat for about 5 minutes. So just watch them. So oops, okay. I'm gonna have to put this on high because this is takes a little bit longer to cook. But so yeah, so we're just gonna toast them like that. You don't need to put anything in the pan. And then once you see them toasted, we're gonna add some cayenne for a little kick, and some maple syrup, and we're gonna candy them. And I'll show you what they look like at the end. But delicious candied walnuts. So I have those ready. You know what we're going to do while I warm them up? I'm going to cut up the beets, and then we'll make our ricotta. So sorry, I have a small kitchen here, so I have some stuff on the table. So I'm going to show you what I did a little bit just to show you. You're going to want to dice them into really small pieces. If anyone's ever eaten a tartare that is usually either with a fish like a tuna, or obviously a beef tartare, which I've never had. I've only ever eaten a tuna tartare. But it, the animal is quite small, so obviously that's gross. But you do want your pieces to be like diced quite small. So if anything, this might be a little bit big, but these are about the size of the beets that you're going to want. So that's like a medium size. And I've got mine. So you're going to take the beets and you're going to peel it. And if you have any peel left on, that's okay. You're going to slice them. So hopefully you can see they're sliced into like not really thin, but not super thick strips. And your hands are going to get stained right away. And what you're going to want to do is, if there is any leftover skin, you can just like cut it off a little bit, like on, while you're doing that. So I'm going to cut up the rest of my beets, and I'll show you. I know you're probably not going to be able to see it. Oh, you might be able to.
I can see it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go super, super small. Yeah, and if you look and you can, you could just cut them up some more. That's fine. It's all going to go into a pile, and then we're going to form it. So yeah, let me get a few of them piled on them just to make this quicker. I've already cut the skin off them, so that's why you're not seeing me do that. And there's
Beets
probably
are
a
not
better way.
something that I eat, so they're not.
Yeah, you know what? I hated beets, and I can't say now like I like them in certain. I love beet juice. I love this. I do love roasted beets. I love borscht, but there's, I probably would now probably like a lot more beet stuff, but it definitely takes getting used to. And I just kind of look at it like, I know they're very healthy for me. So, it's like taking your medicine. It's like, but this is a delicious dish, and, it's a pleasure to eat these. So, yeah, this will be pile. Didn't cut through. So yeah, so this will be one of the times that you will love eating beets, because when you roast them, they just the flavors that come out of them, it's a lot different than, especially if you ever had a boiled beet. They can be a little bland because you lose a lot of the juice when you boil them. Really adds the sweetness and the flavor. So burn these. Okay, so let's finish these up. So again, I'm literally just going one way and another and getting them as small as possible. What is you said you don't like beets. Is there any way that you do eat them, Helene?
I've had
that you do tolerate
beets,
them?
I think twice, where I was like, okay, this doesn't taste like dirt.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
they were roasted. They were roasted both times, but you say take your medicine. If a medicine doesn't taste good, I'm not taking it. I'm a baby. So
Yeah, like, I mean, they're definitely got the, that earthy taste to them, and like I get it. I just try to focus on the sweetness and just the try to get the positive stuff from it. Sorry.
Oh, there's
No,
definitely beets are
they're not
incredibly healthy
burning.
for you. I'm not gonna
Yes.
deny them. I'm not gonna deny them their health and the fact that there are many people that absolutely love them. And I wish they look like something that everybody should eat because they're so
Yes.
pretty.
I mean, they were always a staple at the Thanksgiving and Christmas meals in my house, and I actually do remember eating them when I was younger, and then I just, for whatever reason, I stopped eating them, and now I do, and I will eat them um, uh, at our holiday meals because, again, I know they're good. Okay, so I probably have too much beets here because my beets are pretty darn big. So I'm gonna do one more, and then we'll move on to the ricotta. Now the ricotta recipe is gonna make a lot of ricotta cheese. So let me turn this off. So you will have a lot left over, just as an
Do you use tofu or cashews for the ricotta? Or
FYI. We are
both?
going to use almonds today. But yeah,
Almonds.
yeah,
Nice.
but I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many ways. I mean, I've been exploring. I bought some um, raw sunflower seeds because I want to try to make a sunflower seed cheese, just because I know people have allergies, and especially like when I do my catering, that like I really try to be like cognizant of that and sensitive to that. And obviously, so many more people ask for gluten-free stuff, but I mean, if you can make it in a way that's free of an allergy, like I just I say like why not? Because
Yep.
that way people don't get left out, and so so yeah, so I want to learn how to do the sunflower, just because there is a company here that does sunflower seed cheese, and it's it's more like a spread, which I'm sure a lot of our vegan cheeses are just kind of like a spread, and I really want to create that. Sorry, beets are flying everywhere. That more artisanal cheese out of it. So I want to play around with it. But yeah, so I'm doing almond steak just because it's the one that I like the most.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the sunflower seeds, I have them in the house and I make a vegan tuna out of it.
Oh, yum.
It's so
Yes.
good.
Uh,
It's so good.
yeah, my husband did that once, and it was, I don't think he followed the recipe correctly. It wasn't bad, but we have been meaning um, to try it again because, yeah, it's very healthy, right?
Yeah, I'll send you a recipe.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so
Yeah.
I turn on my heat. We've got they're toasted. Now we're going to add our quarter cup of maple syrup and a little bit of cayenne, depending on how much of a kick you want. It's going to be up to you how much you want to add. I'm going to add a little bit more than I did today because I literally just did like a dash for my demo, and I thought I could do more. So that's probably about maybe a quarter to half. Yeah, about a quarter to half a teaspoon of that. Okay, so okay. So you're just going to mix the candied walnuts, sorry, the walnuts into it, and you're literally just, caramelizing them. And you're going to want to cook. There'll probably be about 4 or 5 minutes until most of the maple syrup is boiled away. And then you'll see it start to candy. It doesn't take a long time. I'll show you quickly. That's what it looks like, and just keep boiling away.
Yeah, I could eat that whole pan. I love, love, love candied nuts, and then with maple
Yeah.
syrup, it's even better.
Oh yes, yes. And I love uh yeah, I just love making mixed nuts with like different spices. So like you could do a spicy one, you can do like a chai one, like just there's so many ways that you can just spice them up.
Oh yeah.
Um, but pecans are definitely they're my favorite. I love to make pecans. So yeah, you can see how quickly it is. Like most of the maple syrup is almost gone. To give you an idea. So yeah, another minute or so, and then I'll take it off, and then you're going to want to let it cool. It will. They're all going to stick together. That's totally normal. You'll break them apart after they cool down. So if you see that happen, don't I'm going to cook them, but put them off to the side. And we'll get. In the meantime, let me actually turn it down. Let's get our ricotta ready. I know it's 2 cups of slivered blanch almonds. And we're actually going to want to put the water in first because it just makes it easier. I'm actually breaking in my Vitamix. My mom bought me a Vitamix for my birthday. And I'm so thrilled. And so I am breaking it. So we're going to start with 3/4 cup of water,
Is your
just to
first
help
time
the
using your
almonds.
Vitamix?
Yes, I have a decent blender, but I've never had a Vitamix. So
No, no
my
comparison.
mom,
It's yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know. I thought I was buying it for my mom because her blender broke, and so she's like, I need a new blender, and I said, okay, well, what's your price range, blah blah blah, and um, like what do you want to do with it, and you know, because I'm trying to get her to eat like drink more smoothies and stuff and shakes, um, and she was just like, I don't know, I just want a good one. I said, well, okay, do you want to go to Vitamix route? This is the price. And she's like, yeah, okay. And little did I know that she was buying it for me because obviously I was great about it.
So think about the Vitamix that I was told when I got mine like many years ago was dry. Let me see. Dry first, then wet, then frozen.
I'm so used to doing wet just because my other one needs a little bit more of a kick.
Yep. I just want to let you know that because that was the advice I was
Yeah,
given, and it holds true
yeah,
because I drink smoothies every day. So it helps with the dry and then the wet, then the frozen helps the actually smoothie become the smoothie. So
nice.
I'm sharing that with you. So like next time you
Yeah,
use it, you'll be like dry,
yeah,
wet, frozen.
yes, yes. Awesome. Well, hopefully this doesn't change the course because this is the way I've done it before. So 2 cups of the almonds. So I'm just going to stir. Okay, they're done. So you can see everything's evaporated away. I'm just going to turn this off. I am going to put these in a bowl and let them cool down. So this actually does, like, for the fanciness of this meal, it comes together pretty quick. So I'm just going to put them out of the way. Okay, and then we have 2 to 3 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. I put more because I love nutritional yeast. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you'll adjust all this to taste. Um, I have a dash of garlic. I probably put about a teaspoon because I love garlic. And then we got our water. And I also added some fresh oregano. I looked for basil, but I couldn't find fresh basil. So I do have fresh oregano, and that's an optional ingredient. Okay, that's it. That's, what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring my thing forward. Just move this off to the side. Bring my blender and officially break it in.
I have a red one as well.
Testing it
So
in. My mom might have originally bought it for her and then went, well, no, she actually chose the red one. I asked her what color she wanted. She said red. Okay, so we'll get this going. Oh. And this one. I might need a little bit of water. Just stir it. Yeah, I got a lot of nutritional yeast in there. That's okay. It's very cheesy.
that's perfect. I put
There'll
a
be a
little
little
lemon
more.
juice in mine.
Sorry.
So
Oh my gosh. Yes,
yeah.
my lemon juice. I am so sorry. 2
Yeah. I'm
tablespoons
so
of
glad
lemon
I
juice.
said something. Yeah, it needs a little
Yes.
because that'll give it the tang of the cheese, the ricotta.
Yeah. Yeah. I am so sorry. I have it on my table and I just ran out of bowls from my home play, and so I have it here and putting
Yeah,
it
I
on my
just
head.
squirt
Okay.
it. So you did well more like 2 tablespoons.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Where's my lid? Yeah, it's very, very. When I do the lunch break live, anytime they use a blender, you're supposed to do a blender. But I am a really, really bad dancer, so I actually try to avoid using a blender just to avoid having to do the dance. So just put a little bit more. Okay. And the texture you want. Don't want it to get.
That's probably perfect.
I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna do it a little bit more just because I do. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely got a lot of nooch, but that's okay because nutritional yeast is extremely healthy. For those that are watching that are maybe new on the vegan journey, it's what we use to give a cheesy flavor to our vegan cheeses. Anything that needs it's just got a delicious umami. It doesn't even need to be cheese, it's just delicious. I sprinkle it on anything. And if you buy it fortified, then you can get your B vitamin from it as well. And it looks like I do have it over here. So if anyone's watching, I bought a bulk, but that's what it looks like. And yes, there are some brands that are better, have a better nutritional yeast than others, and I'm not going to endorse any one brand, but just for those that are watching, my what I would say is try to get it as fresh as possible. So sometimes the bulk place isn't always the best place to get it, depending on how busy it is. But it was just out at the store where I am, and so I got extra. I need another bowl. So I had to pick it up at the bulk place, which is not my favorite bulk place here, but I tried it, and it was pretty. It was decent.
Yeah, I buy like 5 pounds of nooch at once. So I'm we're fans of that. We put it on popcorn, but it goes into I make fresh made bread, homemade bread in the bread maker. It goes into
Nice.
the bread. It goes into the dough.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Yeah, we do the popcorn as well. We'll do like 2 popcorns. We'll have one with nooch and then one with truffle oil. And those are our 2 favorite ways to eat popcorn. I'm probably not going to get the end. I'm going to have to reuse this anyway, and that's fine to use it in our next recipe because it's in that recipe as well. Okay, so you could put this in the fridge to cool, or you can use it as it is. I'm just going to set it off the side, and I'm going to put it in the fridge. And we can assemble our tartare now. So I got some here. I'm going to put on the bottom as our base. And I did buy rings, and they're not that high, and I bought a heart, so I'm going to do them in heart shape. And we'll just do a few piles. So there you go, some fresh arugula. You can use microgreens as well if you can't find arugula, or if you don't like arugula, because I know it's an acquired taste to some people. Okay, and then I'm going to do the heart. Okay, so I'm just going to place the ring on top of my pile. We're going to add our tartare.
Did you put anything into the beets, or it's just chopped up
beets?
beets?
Oh my God,
roasted?
Yes. Oh my God, I am like so out of it. Yes, thank you.
It's nighttime.
Yes. I got it all here. Yes, sorry. 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and some salt and pepper to taste. Thank you for that. I was gonna have this pre-made, and so in my head it was pre-made because I intended to do it pre-made. Okay, so I did make extra just in case I needed it, but let me taste it and see. And same with this. If you let this marinate, it will marinate into the beets more, or you can eat it as it is. That's a good amount. So salt and pepper to taste. Okay, let's try this again. This is probably going to do maybe 3 hearts. If it was one of the bigger rings, I don't know what size this is, about 3 or 4 inches. It will do 2 of those. And if you don't have any type of ring, just get a bowl, and you can put it in the bowl and then put the bowl on top of the plate and take it out. And if you don't even want to present it, like this is just to make it pretty. If you don't want to do that, then you can just put it in a bowl and pour everything on top. Okay, so next is our cheese. So we'll do a little layer of that. And then we will top it with our walnuts. This is going to have just a wonderful flavor bomb with all the, you're going to have the tartness of the balsamic vinegar with the sweetness of the roasted beets, and then you're going to have the creaminess and the cheesiness of the ricotta, and then the sweetness of the candied pecans. So it's just going to be
Walnuts.
so much fun. So walnuts, yes, sorry, yes.
You
I'm
could
using
use
walnuts
pecans, but
today.
these are walnuts.
Yes, I'm using walnuts today. Yes, you could do pecans as well. Okay, squeeze one in there, and then am I gonna be able to lift it? Let's see. Yay! Okay, one fell off. That's okay. There you go. And let's do it again.
Yeah, the flavor profile for this is it's incredible. It is all the flavors that I would absolutely love. So I would definitely try it. Even though, I don't like beets, I would definitely take with the walnuts and the ricotta cheese and the whole thing and the arugula. I would definitely take a bite of it because every spice that you've used is stuff I use all the time. So,
Yeah. And it's obviously it's healthy. It's got healthy fats on it, so the almonds give you a healthy fat, the olive oils, healthier fat. And you can use another oil if you want. I just use olive oil, but if you use whatever different oil you like. And it is like it's almost dessertish in a way, because of the candied walnuts and the beets. But we've got a decadent chocolate dessert, so
oh, I can't wait. I wish I
yeah.
was closer.
Okay, there we go. I don't want to pile it too much. Let me just push it down so I can yeah, go, and we're done. Hopefully you can see the hearts. Can you see the
That
hearts?
is
Do you want
so
me to bring it
cool. Please,
closer?
I would definitely take a picture of that so we can post it because that's so
I
pretty.
will. Yes, I will absolutely. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put it off to the side because I'm out of space here. I'm still here. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm just beside my. I
Yep.
was going to put it out of the way. I'm going to grab my. Okay, so let's move on to the pasta with rosé sauce. So I do have my pasta already boiled just for time, but yeah, you're gonna want to boil. I'm doubling it because this is actually our dinner tonight. But 6 or 7 ounces of pasta. So I had a box. It was 410 grams, and I used the whole box. So you want half of that. We love pasta as well. So, and there's 3 of us here. So you want to boil that. I'm using I know I'm going to botch the name, farfalle, the bow tie pasta.
Oh,
uh,
I love bow tie pasta. Okay.
I love that. I do. It's always the one that's not on sale. I don't know why. It must be everyone's favorite because it's always the one they don't put on sale. But you can use any pasta that you want really to make this because this is irrelevant. You know, it's just rosé sauce. So boil your pasta, and while it's going, we're gonna make a really really quick rosé sauce. So and we're gonna put again everything into a blender, and then we're gonna warm it up. So you want a cup of tomato sauce, and again, whichever kind. I'm using one with like a basil in it, and I'm doubling this because I'm making it. But it's for those watching, it's a cup, and that will do 2 people just fine. And so my spices are a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of either onion powder or onion flakes, a half a teaspoon to I love I just love spices, so I always up it. I'm telling you sort of the low end of spices just so you can adjust it to your own taste. Um, but a half teaspoon of oregano, half teaspoon of parsley, ideally fresh. I love cooking with fresh herbs whenever I can. So I have fresh oregano, but unfortunately I don't have fresh basil in here. A quarter teaspoon of sage, 2 to 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt, and then your pepper to taste. So again, and then we're gonna want to put in our cashews. So I have a third. So again, a third I would say a quarter to a third, depending on the creaminess you want from it. And I've soaked these for about, I mean, you can soak them. They're just raw cashews. So raw unsalted cashews is what you need. Um, however long, like obviously the longer you soak them, the softer they're going to be and the easier they're going to blend. But I do have a Vitamix, so they would probably blend pretty easily anyway. And I would just maybe like start with a third and then, sorry, with a quarter and then do a third if you want it even creamier. And then you want half a cup of water and a half a cup of milk. So I'm just going to, I'm using soy for my milk. But again, that's totally up to you what you want. And then 2 teaspoons of flour. And if you want this gluten-free, you can, do whatever starch you want. This is just to help thicken the sauce when we put it to the on the burner. So probably shouldn't have moved my blender because I got to bring it back, but that is okay.
So probably cornstarch, organic cornstarch, or arrowroot would be great in there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that would make it gluten free, and you wouldn't have to
Yes.
use the glutinous flour. It'll do the same thing.
Yes, exactly. Do you do a lot of gluten-free cooking yourself?
I have. I've been gluten free. I'm not anymore, but
Oh,
I am gluten intolerant, but I'm eating gluten. It's going
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I ended up started buying organic flowers that
Yes,
are made without the pesticides and the herbicides from a farm or a company called Sunrise Flour Mill in Minnesota.
nice.
And it's just incredible. I mean,
Yeah,
they grind and make flours. They grow the wheat the way it used to be before we've bastardized wheat, at least in this
nice.
country. So, and I started eating that. And I make my own bread, and I make pizza dough, and it's been incredible. So,
That's so awesome. Yeah, we have a few places that have that type of flowers here in Canada, but if I can't get that type of flour, then I definitely buy organic as
yep.
well. Okay, great. So we're just gonna blend this up.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you just want to blend it. Just gonna check, scoop, and make sure that they are all blended. Oh yeah, it smells great. Yeah, I think I'm good to go here. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna put this into the pan. We're gonna cook it over a medium heat and just get it to thicken. The flours are gonna thicken it, and then we're just gonna throw your pasta into it. And I'm gonna throw in some spinach as well. And I roasted some vegetables before this to throw in as well. So I just roasted some um, carrots and zucchini. But you could throw in whatever you want here. You can leave it just as it is, but obviously we want to get as many vegetables in us in a day as we can. Uh, so throw in whatever you like to use. You could put some onion in here as well. You could put peppers. I was going to do peppers, but I decided not to. But yeah, whatever suits your fancy, really. Okay, so I'm going to turn it up
Yeah.
high just to let it go, and then turn it down once I see it bubbling a bit.
Being the
And
lazier cook that I am, I would put the hot pasta into the cheese sauce, and it'll thicken from the heat of the pasta as
Mm.
opposed to this step. So that is something if, like, you wanna do something a little faster, you can mix the sauce and you can throw it into the hot pasta, and you'll with time, if it sits, it's going to thicken. So, but this
and
is
it
thickening the sauce faster.
And you can use the pasta. I using the pasta water helps as well, right? I should have. It's just I didn't want this pasta to sit around getting sticky, so I cooked this like right before I started. And I had everything all ready, but I should have used the pasta. But yeah, definitely use the pasta water. And if you, I mean, I like using the plant milk in here, just to make it as creamy as possible. But you know, if you're out and you want to make this, you have every ingredient other than plant milk. Just pasta water, broth. It's all good.
Yeah, it's really versatile.
Exactly, exactly. Okay.
The electricity helps. So
Yes,
and you
exactly.
and you can go different directions with this because you're going more. We've got a whole bunch of different seasonings in there, but you can go more Mexican, you can go more Italian, you can go more Asian. I mean, Asian cheese sauce is weird, but you can flavor it however you want for
Oh yeah,
whatever way you're
absolutely.
going to use it, right? You can turn that when it thickens into a dip, throw black beans and salsa in there
Oh,
and
that
have
would
like
be
a cheese dip.
amazing.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that would actually be really cool. The beets might not go with the theme, but if you were to do that, we're doing chocolate truffles, and one of the suggestions that I was going to throw out as a variation to the flavors is to make like a spicy chocolate, and that would be go great if you did like yeah like a Mexican theme, and some cayenne in here. Yeah, I always say that. That's what I when any recipe that I do, like I always encourage, you to like add what flavors you like, right? I try to create sort of base recipes so that you have that flexibility to to add or subtract without it like impacting the taste. So yeah, so if you don't like these flavors, um omit the oregano, omit the basil, throw in whatever it is you want.
Right.
Have you ever made
Make it
the
the way you like it.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, but I like this. This is a nice base one. It's really I could already tell it's very creamy. And yeah, I'm gonna throw in for my spinach. Have you made the carrots and cheese mac and cheese?
I've made a carrot and potato based cheese sauce. Yes.
Yeah, that's our favorite in the house. Just because I mean, nuts, can be expensive, especially if you're buying, responsibly sourced. Um, organic,
Yep.
right? So potatoes and carrot, and because we always hear the misconception, and I know Helene, you have, every vegan has a veganism is expensive, and it does not have to be. So
Nope.
that's why, yeah. So if you don't have cashews, or if you're on a budget, you do not need to put cashews in here. Substitute it with some milk. I put cashews because when you puree cashews, it gives you that cheesiness, especially like if you're not adding a vegan cheese into it, it gives you that creaminess to it. But yeah, by all means, if you don't have cashews, just substitute it again with some plant milk or again broth or water. Uh, the water from the pasta is even better. So so yeah, I should have said that. So with the the cashews, it's not a necessity. I just like it very very creamy.
I like it
And when
too.
you buy it, even though it's expensive when you buy it, like it is like um cheaper, than if you went and bought like say with a bell soy cream or something like that you might add. You could even use coconut cream. I mean, you could buy again. Coconut is something that you do as a vegan want to buy a responsible from a responsible company because of the way that they source the coconuts and the exploitation of the animals to get it depending on the company. So I know PETA has a list of like responsible, companies for coconut. But you could add coconut milk instead in this, or a coconut cream. Um, I just I'm picky when I like coconut flavors, and in a sort of in a savory dish, I'm so on it. Uh, but yeah, you got a coconut cream or coconut milk to this as well.
Yeah, I would say if you're going more in a Thai direction, an Asian direction, and you're not
Yeah,
making more
yeah.
like a pasta, but you're making, you I don't know, you're throwing chickpeas and tofu into it or something.
Hmm. Oh
Coconut with or
yeah.
soup, or you're making soup. And we can turn this
Oh
into
yeah.
a cheese soup if you wanted to.
You could. Yeah. I mean, if this is gonna thicken up, maybe just omit the flour if you wanted to keep it as a soup, or just add. Yeah, the coconut would be really really good. Yeah. So eating coconut like that, yeah, that would be. I would love. But like a coconut flavor with like an oregano or a basil to me just.
It's yeah, I'm right there with you.
And yeah, I know everybody has like a preference to their milks. I tend to use oat, personally, just because it is environmentally one of the lower ones, but or a soy. But oat, just agree, like personally, just because I'm very sensitive to thickeners and stuff in products. Oat, it
Mhm.
seems to be the one that agrees with me the most. So, but today I use soy just because I grabbed that off the shelf. And I find that the types of milks that you use as well, like really varies in how, like what you're using it in, especially with baking, right? Because like if you use rice milk, I find it's a little more waterier, like a little more waterier, and so which might be okay in this case, especially if you are going to use cashews, because cashews makes up for sort of the creaminess that you're looking for in your plant milk. Sorry, this is just taking long because my burner's so small and this is a really, really big um, pan. But you know what? This will be good. You just want to let it boil until you can see it thicken, and you're just going to throw your pasta in it. So in the meantime, I will tell you how to start prepping for your chocolate truffles. So you want 1 1/3, yeah, 1 1/3 cups of either chocolate chips or a good chocolate. So a few things. What I mean by good. First off, you want to make sure that the chocolate you're buying is dairy free. I find, especially if you're gonna use a commercial brand. If you don't have access to a chocolate that is responsibly sourced, or go organic or whatever, um, really watch out for the chocolate, because even some of the dark ones, like I just was out of curiosity was looking at some brands last night, and all the dark ones all had milk in it. um,
Yep.
so and so, which at least is a few of the brands. One of them is Baker's, their chocolate chips have milk. And oh, I actually think their bars did too. So I was like, come on, you know. Um, so they just sneak milk way, all those different names that's cow milk into everything, and we know why. But yeah, so just be mindful when you're buying your chocolate chips, that you're buying semi. I have bought dairy-free semi-sweet chocolate chips, but I find truffles are better with a dark anyway, and I'm using a 70 something percent dark. We have a really great company here in Canada. It's called Giddy Yo-Yo. You can buy a really big block of, they make chocolate bars, but you can buy just a block. And so that's what I'm using. And um, and I know their chocolate, not only obviously it's vegan because they're a vegan company, they ethically source their chocolate as well. And so again, for those that might be watching, that don't know about chocolate, It's, it's it's not the nicest industry. It involves the exploitation of people, So that's why you're probably seeing on commercial bars, I don't know if I should name names. I don't want to get in trouble. But if you're looking at sort of the commercial bars that are out there, you're probably starting to see things like sustainably sourced and, or whatever. And that's because they're under increasing pressure to source their stuff responsibly. So, and a lot of these companies have like committed to, making sure that their brands are sustainable by, X time or whatever. So, um, but you always want to be careful. And so, yeah, so you want to buy a good quality chocolate. I find this is not where I don't think you should skimp when you're making your truffles because they're supposed to be decadent. There's, this is your treat. And so I think, if you're going to treat yourself to, sorry, I turned it down too much. It was bubbling. Treat yourself to a really, really good chocolate. I'm going to throw it in now because it did bubble. I just turned it down. So it is technically ready. And I'm going to throw some spinach in as well. But again, you do not have to put spinach. You can put whatever you like to eat in here. Incorporate it. And then you can sprinkle it. You can make a really, really easy homemade a vegan parm just with like some hemp hearts. I mean, I know you can do them with sunflower seeds, with cashew. I actually make mine with hemp hearts. So it's basically like hemp hearts, salt, nutritional yeast. Blend it, and you got yourself really, really easy, healthy vegan parm. But you could also buy it in the store as well. Like I'm sure probably a lot of you have seen this brand, watch this brand. Not all their stuff is vegan. And then there's Earth Island has like an actual stringy vegan parm. Helene, you're gonna have to help me because we don't have a lot of brands here that you guys have. I'm trying to think of what other brands here we have where we can get vegan parm.
Earth Island in Canada is Earth Island, and here in the States is Follow Your Heart. So
yes.
So I just wanted, if people don't know that, so Follow Your Heart is, they just changed the name for up there. And then we have VioLife, which has the wedge that you can grate yourself for Parmesan. And so VioLife, Good Earth, Good Planet has a shredded Parmesan option that's in a bag. So, and Follow Your Heart has their parm, has two different types, has the grated and then has the shredded. And so they have two different types. And making your own, you can make it out of walnuts. You can make it out of almonds.
Yes.
You're just basically chopping up the nuts, adding seasoning and nutritional yeast, and you've got your own homemade Parmesan. Keep it in the fridge though.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Keep it in the fridge, and it lasts. Like I found one in the back of my fridge, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if it's any." And I tried it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, right." So definitely keep it in the fridge. Okay, so we are done our pasta, and I'll show you how quick it is to do our truffles. I'm gonna take this off, and sorry, I know I'm gonna put it in front of you. Hopefully, it's not going to hinder. Yeah, okay, great. You can still see my pot, okay, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm just hungry. I'm probably
Sprinkle
gonna
it,
make
yes.
pasta for dinner. So
sprinkle it with whatever. Like I said, I got my veggies, so I'm just gonna throw those in there now. But again, put whatever veggies you want in here, and the more the better. My son's gonna get mad because there's but that's fine. I should also mention he's 21 and he's still picky. But he does recognize, the reason why I put spinach in this is because he actually recognizes that he needs to eat more spinach and get over that, but I don't wanna. Right? So I'm making him eat it. Okay, so we are going to put a cup. I'm going to say between 3/4. I would say cook. Have a cup of coconut cream or coconut milk. I'm using a premium full fat coconut milk, but you can use coconut cream as well. So just shake the can well, and again, make sure that you are buying a good quality one and an ethically sourced one. You're just going to warm that up in the pot. Just 3 ingredients. 2 if you don't sprinkle it with anything, but we're going to dust it with some cocoa powder. But you can dust it with, and you can also add whatever spices you want. So if you want to make this like a chai flavored coconut, a chai flavored chocolate truffle, you can add all those delicious chai flavors, cardamom and allspice, nutmeg and cinnamon, like whatever chai mix you like. Um, or you could just add some cayenne and make it like uh, just a spicy one. We're just gonna do basic. You could also add some powder into it if you want. Like I've made these. Again, really great company, Giddy Yo-Yo. They have a blueberry powder, and so I've made these and incorporated some, and it's very, very concentrated too. So it just adds like a really delicious blueberry flavor to it, and it just infuses it so nicely. So when we pour it over the chocolate after the chocolate melts, then you can incorporate it before you put it in the fridge to set, and then you can dust it in like I have dusted in like the blueberry powder, cocoa powder mix. But again, you can roll them in chopped up nuts, coconut, um, whatever. Again, flexible, however you like eating chocolate, then just add it. Okay. So I've got it on high right now. And we're gonna let that, just make sure you get all the lumps out. Although once it starts going, now you don't want this to um, get to a boil. You just want it to get to a simmer. And so I got, again, 1 1/3 cups of chocolate. You can see if you are going to use chocolate, try to chop it up as fine as possible, just to make sure that it all melts properly. And we're just going to get this to a simmer. Just mix it. Just keep an eye on it so that it doesn't boil.
And then the lazier person's way is if you have a microwave, you
Yes.
can put the chocolate and the coconut in the bowl and put it in the microwave for 15 seconds, mix, 15 seconds, mix.
You can. Yes, I'm just like I like this method, right? Of just letting it do its thing and
Yep.
but yes, you could definitely put your coconut. It's just yes, if you're going to put your coconut, if you don't want to put your chocolate in the microwave, but you want to put your coconut milk or cream in the microwave, yes, just make sure that it doesn't get just do it in very small increments so that
Yep.
you don't get to a boiling point, right? Just
Yeah,
because you
you don't
don't
want
want
the
that
chocolate to
scorch.
seize. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you don't
Then
want
you're
like a
making
scorched milk cake.
then you're making hot cocoa.
Yes.
Because if you seized chocolate, there's really nothing else you can do with it because you can't fix it. So you just
Yeah.
start over.
Yes, exactly. I don't know how often you do chocolate, but I love making chocolates and I do a lot of truffles and stuff. And I'm still really bad at tempering
Mhm.
tempering chocolate. I have succeeded doing it the microwave version once, um, but I always botch up the like the stove method of just like with the double boiler and
Yep.
getting it to the temperature and bringing it down. So um, I'm determined to. I think it was my thermometer, so I haven't. I just bought myself. I'm
So
blaming it on.
with the chocolate with the tempering, and I've been successful at tempering chocolate, and rarely has it seized because you do the same thing each time. You never know. But one thing that I would put into the chocolate was there's this coconut that's unbelievable. I can't remember, coconut mana, I think is what it is. So I would put
Oh
some of
yeah,
that in, and then I would put some maple syrup in, and I don't measure anything.
nice.
And I put
Yeah,
that in, and the coconut mana I think really really helps with helping it to temper because it's the added fat. And
yeah,
just you just have to sit and stir it, sit and stir, sit and stir, sit and stir, and
yep.
just then you make your chocolates. I loved making peanut butter cups.
Yes, that's what I do. Except I don't do cups because my son loves the peanut butter eggs.
Oh,
The Reese's ones growing up. So
yep.
whenever I make them, I always have to make them in an egg shape. He loves peanut butter cups, and we have the is it I think Go Max brand here,
Uh-huh.
and they have peanut butter, and then they have the Justin's, which is accidentally vegan. But other than that, we don't really have like uh, a brand like any other ones. So, and it's just easier to make your own. It's so easy to make peanut butter cups, yeah, as I'm sure you know, right? Um,
It
and
is,
so
but
yeah, so I
sometimes yeah, sometimes you want it made for you. I just tried a brand that was given to me by the Wicked Vegans food truck. It's called Chomp. And I don't know if you can get it, but but Stacy said that it's the closest thing she's tasted to like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
oh yeah,
And I was like, all right. And her son was like, no, it's not. And I tried it and it's the closest thing to a Reese's peanut butter cup that I've
yeah,
had
yeah,
vegan. So I
yeah.
mean, chomp. I mean, it's just definitely go try it. It was like, if you like
Is
Reese's peanut butter cups, get some, and it's better ingredients.
is it a dark chocolate or is it like a milk chocolate
It's
or a
was
coconut chocolate?
it's a milk. It's representing a milk chocolate. You know, as
Yeah.
vegan, it the peanut butter inside because it only each peanut butter cup only like
Mhm.
6 grams of fat, which is
Yeah.
very low for peanut butter. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
use peanut butter. They use peanut butter powder.
Oh, okay.
That's why there's a reduction in the fat, 'cause I was like, "How is this possible?" And it's you can read the ingredients, you can and you understand what they are, and
Yeah.
it was delicious. Like, 1 peanut butter cup, I think it's 6 grams of fat and 150 calories,
Yeah, nice.
which is and it wasn't small, it wasn't like the Justin's tiny ones, it was the size and
Yeah.
thickness. It was actually a little thicker, I think, than a Reese's peanut butter cup, but I haven't had one of those in a long time, so I don't know, but it was a decent size. It took me, like, a few minutes to eat it because I took bites. I don't just eat I take small bites so I make it last, and
I shove it all in my mouth in one because
yeah,
like you said, the adjustments are so small. It's just like
yeah, that I even do 2 bites, maybe 3 in a little Justin's one because I like for something that's that delicious that I can't eat, like, a million of to last. So
and because I don't know, they're pricey too. Like here,
right.
they're almost $4. You're paying $2 a cup, right?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's expensive. They're not I don't think they're as expensive here.
Mhm. And
Wow.
we can get them. We only get them. Well, I've seen them in a few places, but Starbucks is one of the few places here that I've seen them. So of course they're gonna up the price just because it's Starbucks. Mhm.
Of course.
And I actually bought. I'm sure you've probably seen them. The Reese's, like the hockey puck ones, like the really big ones. You get them. I think they only come out maybe at Christmas because they're supposed to be for the stocking. But I got one of the molds for those giant ones to make, and they're literally like you know this thick, and they're huge. Um, and for that, like, yeah, you really want like a really creamy peanut butter in it. And yeah, that
Oh, yeah,
I,
and
I
good
I love making.
chocolate. If you're going to make
Again, good
chocolate, you
chocolate.
want
Yeah.
it you want good chocolate. I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly. Exactly. So my coconut milk is it's not boiling, it's simmered. So all you do is just pour it over your chocolate. Don't Well, I don't stir it. Like I don't disturb it, right? I like other than like maybe flicking the chocolate in to make sure that it's covered, but otherwise, like I don't disturb it. And I just like you could see it, you're just gonna see it, and I just cover it and I leave it for 5-10 minutes, and then I stir it. Um, and we're so this is what, and so after you do that, again, if you want to add some spices, go add whatever you want to it. You're going to put it in the fridge for a few hours, let it set, or you can put it in the freezer if you want to cheat, which is what I did. And so I've got some already prepared, obviously, because it takes time. Already got one rolled even. So this is, sorry if the bowl looks obviously ugly inside because now I've scooped it, but like this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be thick, and you can get a mini ice cream scoop if you have. You don't need it. Don't go buying it. You don't need it. You can just use a spoon, or I'm using something for a scoop for coffee, and just form them to whatever size you want. It will be a little crumbly, but once you squeeze it together, then it just all comes together. And yeah, just like form it into whatever size of one that you want. I'm going to do a fairly small one. I'll do a few here. And I've got my cocoa powder to dust. I'm just going to dip it. This one's probably a little bigger. It's a little smaller. And you can even, after this, if you don't want to dust it in some chocolate, you can melt chocolate and then cover this in a chocolate. So then it just becomes like a crunchy truffle rather than just a really light, delicate one. So let me do a few more and then I'll show you. But like super easy. This is so easy to do. And again, like a really, really decadent dessert for Valentine's Day. And I mean, like anyone could, like, you do not need to be skilled to do this at all. Like, you boil some milk, chop up some chocolate, pour it, and that's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's funny,
so let me,
people spend a lot of money on truffles, and you don't
yes,
realize, like, it's like you said, 2 ingredients plus whatever you top it with,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
doesn't take a lot of
exactly.
time. So,
No,
yeah.
not
Use
at all.
like, if you like a chocolate, go buy their chocolate and make your own truffles out of it. That's it, that's all you have to
Exactly,
do.
exactly,
It's a
exactly. So,
perfect bite.
yeah, okay. So I just did a few, but like super easy, right here. And then you'll just put these again back in the fridge to just to firm up a bit, or in the freezer if you want. And you can make these and store them in the freezer and just take them out and pop them in your mouth, whenever you want one. Um, and this actually is very, very close to making fudge as well, except it condensed, the sweetened condensed milk rather than the coconut milk. And yeah, I always have these in my freezer for when I want something. I'll just take them out and let them thaw. That's how easy it all is. I mean, I know we took a little over an hour, but doing this all together, like you can have your 3-course meal in under an hour. Like it's just not hard to do at all. Just once you prepare your beets, but other than that, everything comes together super, super quick. And you have like a delicious, here, let me plate my, I know I have a bowl. Let me plate my pasta. I do have everything to do that.
Lydia Artist said, "Thank you for the recipes. It looks amazing."
Oh, you're very
Thank
welcome. And if someone like, for whatever reason, maybe you're like, "Oh, what did she say?" Just message me. And I know we're going to talk about that, Helene, like how people can reach out to me, and I'm happy to send you um, the recipe instructions and ingredients and everything. So I do not have I didn't take out my homemade parm, so I'm just gonna sprinkle it with this. Or you know what? If you don't have parm, you can just sprinkle it with some more nutritional yeast, really, because you can't get enough nutritional yeast. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And then some more cracked pepper. It's like that simple, super easy. And this meal's, most expensive thing that you'll probably buy is your chocolate, which you should anyway, right? You can get your slivered almonds bulk and hopefully get a good deal of them. And yeah, so there you go. Super easy.
It looks delicious.
My table is completely covered, but yeah. Normally I would be washing as I could.
Right, right. I'm gonna come back with you so we can talk a little bit. Well, that was really cool because it's a very similar meal to what I would prepare. So, and that's for people who are thinking for Valentine's Day. Really, with it took an hour, and it's an hour of you talking talking your way through it. It won't take somebody else an hour
No,
because the
not at
pasta
all.
could be boiling, and like a
Yeah,
lot of things can be happening at once. When you're cooking, and most people would have a stove and not a two burner. Like,
exactly. Yes,
so
exactly. Yeah, no,
yeah, but
super,
that
super easy, and it will impress, right? I'm just gonna stir the chocolate to show you because I can see that it's melting. So you can see it, it looks like it's not gonna incorporate, but just keep stirring and it will. And that's how easy it is to make your truffles. Literally 5
yeah.
minutes, right?
Right. And no one would begrudge anyone or judge you for just taking a spoon and eating them. Just spoons of the chocolate
Oh,
without putting them into little balls. You can just eat the chocolate, throw some nuts on
oh my
top,
gosh.
and you're good. Or
Yes,
ice
yes.
cream. That would be great with ice cream or brownie. And
Oh
so
gosh,
whipped
yes.
cream and ice cream, you can go all out, not just on Valentine's Day, but any day. And you don't have to be with a
Oh,
lover. It could be with a friend, a best friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, children, grandparents, parents, whomever
yes.
would enjoy
Oh,
this meal.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to be making it for my whole family, right? Because exactly, like who does well, I know some people don't love chocolate, but most people do.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it looks like before you put it in. And then
Yeah,
once
I don't know
again,
how
you're
you're
in the
not
right.
licking the spoon, but that's okay. I was
I'm trying
like
I'm trying to,
we won't judge.
be yeah.
Your kitchen, I would have a really hard time.
As
So
soon as I'm off camera, yeah, I'm gonna be
oh
like
yeah.
licking all the
I have
spoons.
I have a question. A lot of people might have a question of
Sure.
behind you. You have the Monday through
Yes.
Sunday. You have people's
Yeah.
names on certain days, and I've recognized that there's food in the little chalk and on the chalkboard. So is that who's making dinner those nights, or what they want, or what is it?
Uh, yes, what we want and what we try to plan for. So I bought some hearts to decorate my background for today, but yeah, it's me, my husband, and my son. Because my daughter doesn't live here anymore. That's why my name's twice. Um, but yeah, when we put them, and depending, like my son, it lives with us, but he's in university and he's doing it remotely for now. So I'm mindful of the days when he has late classes, and so we negotiate, and then we'll negotiate the meal as well, right? If some circumstance you get home late and we know this is going to take time or whatever, right? But yeah, that is the goal of it, is to like try to plan our meals out and give people some sense of responsibility on who's responsible for to cook it for that day. So I know it looks like I usually cook on the weekend just because that's when I like to play around anyway. But yeah, I'm on it, but by choice. So,
It's awesome. No, I love
yeah.
it. I think it's really cool, and it was a great background for this.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
oh,
Awesome.
Marla Rose. Do you know
I
Marla Rose
absolutely
from
know
Vegan
Marla. I
Street?
love Marla. Yes.
That's well, she just said that she loves you in a
I love
message, like a
Marla.
private message between us, but she just
Oh,
said that
oh.
that's
Hi,
she's
Marla. Yes, she's
she's part of the
fantastic.
vegan stew. She's one of the stew crew.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's that's really cool. All right. So
Great.
this was amazing, and I feel like I want to go make dinner. So I mean, I
Yeah.
could I could talk to you about other stuff for like forever. So I think I would love to have you. Oh, look, Emily, your daughter. Proud of you, mom, with
Hi.
a
Oh,
heart.
that's my daughter. Yes, that's my
That's
daughter.
awesome. Thank you for watching.
I asked her
And
to yes, I knew she had to work tonight, so I said, "Well, if you finish work early, maybe you can watch my show." So I'm so glad she's joined.
right, you can
And
watch
the thing
the
is, she'll always see pictures. Like when I do lunch break live, I'll always go post them on my Instagram after, and she gets so jealous. She lives downtown Toronto, right? And so you know. I've cooked a lot more even since she's been here, right? And so she's always like, I'm missing out on this, I'm missing out on that. So and I'll make some extra truffles for you. Actually, I'm making truffles for her for Valentine's Day. So just as a
oh
little, yeah, little spoiler
surprise.
that exactly, little surprise. There. Yes, I have a double batch here because I was making them for
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that she made it so she can learn about her surprise for Valentine's Day. So make sure you come
her.
home.
Yes,
Make sure you come
exactly.
and get some
I
food.
know. Yes, I
Oh,
know.
that's
It's tough.
yeah, so I definitely feel like there's so much more we could talk about, and that could
Oh
be
gosh,
like
yes.
a talk as those are cooking because with the climate
Yeah.
healers and
Oh my
everything that
gosh,
you're
yes.
involved with, and talking about what's going on in Canada, well, maybe you'll become part of the stew crew and talk about that tomorrow. So,
Yeah, so next time, we could do like a climate, do one like and talk about like, the climate impact on the meal, right? Because obviously every meal has
yeah.
an impact, vegan or not, right? So we could talk about like climate friendly, the most climate friendly foods to eat as vegan.
That's fantastic. I would love that. I'm glad that you even brought that in when talking about with the coconut and with
Hmm.
cashews, with almonds and soy
Yeah,
milk as opposed to oat milk, and of course opposed to almond milk, which is the most water consuming milk that we have. Not
yeah.
compared to actually dairy milk. There's no comparison, people. However,
Yes,
in
yes.
the vegan milk world, the plant-based milk world, it uses the most water. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's be
I know that
realistic.
argument's the most frustrating. I know you always hear the vegans and the almonds and that, and like yes, we're aware it's a very intense uh, uh, product, but yeah, nothing
Right,
compared to
but
dairy.
nothing compared to dairy milk and the whole industry that happens there. So, if people
Exactly.
wanna get in touch with you, how do they do it?
Yes, so I am the VeganAbler on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. If you're watching and you're not yet vegan and you're on your vegan journey, you want to know how to substitute things, then reach out to me. I'm happy to answer questions anytime. Yeah, I love getting questions. So yeah, definitely reach out to me there.
Alright, that's perfect.
And
And
and I'm on lunch
yeah,
break live. I do that at least once a month. So definitely lunch break live is a great which is Unchained News. So that's Jane Blaise Mitchell. That's her. It's now it's not Jane Unchained. It's Unchained News. So hopefully everyone's following them as well, and you'll see me there as well. And you can watch some of my old recipes that I do on that as well.
that's perfect. Let me get this. There we go. Lunch Break Live on Unchained News, which is
Yeah,
Jane
awesome.
Velez Mitchell's new network, which has a Facebook page. We can also watch the network as well, which would
Yep.
be incredible. Well, you are wonderful, and I look forward to doing more with you. And I'm really
Yes.
glad that I saw you and I reached out and you wrote back very quickly and we got this set up, like really fast. So thank you
Yes, I
for
know. I have like headsets now. Like I never used. Now I got new headsets. I'm loving it. So I thank you for that. This is so easy. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to say thank you and close
Thanks
out
to
the
everyone for
show.
watching.
No problem. Thanks, Kelly. So, everyone, thank you once again for watching Virtual Vegfest Live. I'm really glad you're here. I know I'll be back the first Tuesday. I think it's March 1st in March with Dawn from Urban Eats, part of this new crew. So that'd be pretty cool to have a one-on-one conversation with her. But until then, you can watch Kimberly on Mondays, and yoga, Wake Up in Yoga, is going to start next Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can do some chair yoga during your work day to get you through it, or your lunch time. You can do that. Lydia, you're very welcome. Thank you for watching. And remember to go to virtualvegfest.com or virtualvegfestlive.com, where you can go to enter the contest to win one of our 6 prize packs and, do our wish bond, subscribe to Virtual Veg Fest on YouTube, please, and hit the notification button. Help us grow the channel so we can reach more people, and also go follow the Vegan Stew as well, because that's our Wednesday show, which will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as well. Coach Kayla, first Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m., and that's our shows for now. So have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your support. Please be kind to one another. Don't forget that. Be careful out there, still a virus. So wear your mask, be safe, get tested if you feel sick, and just so you're not making other people sick who are more prone to higher risk, because that's part of the reason why we're vegan, right? Is to be careful and safe for others. And part of what we can do is be responsible and kind. So have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow at 7.